So, guys, what's going on? So, I want to talk to you today about wheels. Now, I'm at the Seaside Heights Boardwalk. This is in New Jersey, Seaside Heights, New Jersey. If you know the show, The Jersey Shore, this is where I am. This is where this is. And the reason why I'm focusing on this wheel or wheels is a long time ago, I was going to run a wheel or open a wheel on, we'll say this boardwalk, let's say. And I'm going to tell you how it works. First off, those wheels, that wheel is thousands of dollars. That wheel is thousands of dollars. I think at the time, the way the wheel is that backboard, that piece of wood, that's a couple of thousand. And then that spinner itself, that arrow that's spinning, that's almost like a car part. And that's it's balanced. It's perfectly balanced. So that wheel would spin, and then just the weight of it would cause it to drift. And the whole wheel itself, I think at the time, and I'm talking a long time ago, couple of thousand dollars, not a couple of thousand, definitely about $10,000 just for that wheel and that spinner and everything together. The other part about what I remember when I was looking into this, now I'm going back, the rent to have this space depended on like the square footage in front of, whatever spot you had. So let's say this wheel, it's 10 feet wide, right? They're charging, at the time, they were charging $1,000 per foot. We're going way back. So if this thing was, you see a row, you see the balloon, you see the ring toss, you see the wheel. If each one of those is 10 feet, right, my spot total, my area is 10 feet from left to right, it's $1,000 per month. So 10 feet, $10,000 a month. Now, I'm almost positive that changed. That's actually probably cheap now, but it was expensive. Now, this was Seaside Heights at the time. I'm going way back. The other thing was that they could tell you could, run the wheel, but you could only do candy, or you could run the wheel and you could do electronics. The boardwalk itself, or the town that, monitors the boardwalk, those people will tell you what you could do. You just couldn't say, I'm going to open a wheel and just, do anything I wanted. You kind of had to tell them what you were going to do, and they could say, yeah, you could do it. If you wanted to add something, you couldn't just say, I'm going to do electronics and candy and this and that. Each wheel or each spot or whatever the prizes were you were told what to do. Again, I don't know if that has changed. I don't know if it's like a free-for-all. I do not think so. I think that it's still very controlled on what you can and cannot do. A friend of mine did open up. He didn't open a wheel. I think he had a balloon. I think it was the balloon that you sprayed the balloon in the clown face and then it popped. He had one of those. And he did really well. What happened was he was part of a bunch of stores, and then something happened to that whole row of stores. I don't know if they either raised the rent or something happened where they kicked everybody out and they put something new in. But he had that for years. Now he's not really in this business anymore. But when he had it, he made pretty good money. And he had to get approved. He had to go through a whole process of just getting the wheel and getting approved and going to the people that run the boardwalk. And there was a whole mess just to get something going. You just can't walk up to the boardwalk. I mean, and it's something also where you can rent the space. But even though you may rent the space, that doesn't mean you could just do whatever you want in the space. So you may walk on the boardwalk, and I did. I was walking along the boardwalk. I go to all the boardwalks. And in Seaside Heights, that said spaces for rent. And I'm thinking in my head, wow, this would be a good place to open up a hot dog place or a good place to do, a game. But just because that space is for rent, I believe, I'm not sure, like I said, if it's still the same way. I don't think I can say, I'm going to rent this space and I'm going to put a balloon game there. I'm not sure if it works like that. They might not allow me to do that because there may be another balloon game, 2 spots down, and there's a whole thing that goes on with that. So that's the little I know about that. So for this particular game, besides the wheel, you have to buy all the candy, all the merchandise. This is a candy wheel. you would have to have a good amount of money to get this rolling and sustain it. And I like this business. I always thought that I like all the boardwalks. So I love New Jersey. I love the New Jersey boardwalks, and amusements and arcades is just what I like. It's what I do. And I think it's good. It's a work. You have to be here. This place opens, I would think that this wheel's probably opening, at least in the summertime, 11 or 12 o'clock when people start to get on the boardwalk, and it's open to 12, 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever. So you're going to be there for at least a 12, 14-hour day. Minimum 12-hour, if not, a 14-hour day. And you run it. And that wheel gets... there's a commission, there's a group that comes around. It's by the town. They check that wheel. A guy will come and check that wheel. He'll see if, you're not trying to scam people, or you're, weighing. People would weigh things down or try to weigh people. I guess could put weights and stuff in the back. And you could, I guess, lose your license or lose your spot. They could shut you down if you're scamming or doing something that's not up to par. Because people always say, well, these things are a scam and it's this and it's that. It's really hard to scam. You just can't scam. I know that it seems like, these carnival games are all rigged, but the truth is, at least in New Jersey, there is a agency that does these carnival games. It's part of gambling and things like that. You can't scam. Same thing with casinos. You just can't scam people. You can't have slot machines and just have the slot machine set on never winning. It doesn't work like that. There's a certain formula, or there's a certain thing that they have to make it, fair. And that goes with these wheels. That goes with everything. I like stuff like this. I like, the vending business and the amusement business. And I think that it's a fabulous business. It's not an easy business, but it's definitely something that I like. Now, Seaside Heights, I think, is a great boardwalk. I think that the Jersey Shore show brought maybe the wrong attention to the boardwalk, but there is attention there. My favorite boardwalk out of all in New Jersey, believe it or not, I love Point Pleasant, which is a little before Seaside Heights. So, and I like Asbury Park. So if you have to tell me where I want to go, you'll find me on Asbury Park. You'll find me at Point Pleasant. Seaside Heights, I love it too. And then there's Wildwood. So Jersey is a great state for things like this, for boardwalks, old school arcades, just a lot of fun. You can have a lot of fun in New Jersey, that is for sure. So that's really it. Now, if you know anything more about this, please leave a comment below. I love to read your comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. What I will do is I'll let this video play out with the sound, because, I won't talk over it. You kind of hear how it goes, and that's it, all right? And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.